of the U.S. Open and some pretty good golf going on. And I'm wondering, so we've seen Rory McIlroy not play well in the first round, not play well in the first couple of rounds, and then he turns it on when it seems a little, not meaningless because there's tons and tons and tons of money that's tied up in it. But what do we make of Rory McIlroy going out and shooting a 3 under par 67? He, on the front nine, made 2 birdies and a bogey. He made 2 birdies on the back nine. I'm not sure which side he started on. Doesn't matter.
I think he started on the back, but I could be wrong.
But either way, only 1 bogey on the card, no big numbers on the card, made 4 birdies on a hard golf course, and he's tied for the lead at 3 under par. Does this mean the rest of the field should watch out because maybe we're going to get peak Rory? Or is it, it's just round 1 and you don't win or lose a golf tournament in the first round?
You saw what he did last weekend right up against Tony Finau and Justin Thomas. I feel like it's just continuing this on. By the way, shout out to Mississippi's Hayden Buckley. He's one shot back.
No doubt. 2 under in the first round of the U.S. Open.
And 2 people. See, this is what's so funny about sports sometimes. There were 2 people in his post-round press conference. He's one shot back of the lead, and more people want to talk about Liv and all this stuff, which, by the way, Phil is playing atrociously, but everybody wants to talk about him and not a guy one shot back.
I know somebody who's not under par.
Yeah, it's I learned something. I think I finally came up with not how I feel about all this, but people are kind of mind blown that he's gotten such a good reception in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
It's not near as robust, though, as that you're used to hearing from Phil. It's positive, but it's not like rock star stuff like you've gotten in other majors that he's played in the past. Either way, it's quite positive. And people in our business are saying things like, oh, I can't believe it, or who would have thought that, or this doesn't make sense, those kind of things. They're surprised that everybody's favorite player is still popular. And I've come up with why that is. First of all, because most people just don't care about what their entertainment does away from the entertaining. As long as you're going to play golf and you're going to smile and give thumbs up between the ropes, I don't care what you do outside the ropes. Doesn't matter. Same thing, at least for me, with other athletes. Some are great guys, some are role models, some are not. Either way, if you're playing good basketball, I'm going to watch you. I don't care what you do or think outside of it. Same thing with football and musicians and all that. That's most people. And then the other part of it, I think, is that people in our business have made him such a scapegoat for something that exists in basically every sport that now they like Phil more. Because why is it only the golfer that is getting criticized for taking some dirty money when the NBA has dealings with the Chinese government and is going to do games in Dubai? Major League Baseball moved things because of politics. You've got the World Cup happening in Qatar. You find me a sport that doesn't have some kind of tie where you're like, well, I don't know. Dan Snyder's still an owner in the NFL. So why is it only Phil Mickelson that has gotten treated the way he has? Forget that. I'm going to cheer for him because you guys are all hypocrites. I think both of those things are going on right now.
Find me a sport. We said yesterday we were going to have fun. This is a little bit more of a serious conversation. But hey, Dad, this applies everywhere. College baseball might be the biggest exception. Find me a sport that's pure. You can't. Find me
That's funny.
No, stick with me. Okay, so Borky just outlined the NBA. The NFL is all about its bottom line. It's about making money. Major League Baseball got super political. FIFA is one of the most corrupt organizations that exist. The International Olympic Committee, corrupt on top of corrupt on top of corrupt. Figure skating, shady judges, gymnastics.
Boxing.
Scandal on top of scandal, where the people in charge of gymnastics didn't care about the health and the basic dignity of female gymnasts as long as they were performing. boxing. I don't know. Maybe bobsled is pure. Maybe bobsledding and curling are pure, but I bet there's scandal out there.
They're greasing the skids.
Okay, so that's all professional stuff and international competition. What about college athletics? Football? College football? Is that pure? What about college basketball?
Have the coaches gotten out of prison yet? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. You say college baseball, we got Tennessee rolling bats and flipping people off in the outfield. There's nothing pure.
The stick and ball sports are the most pure in college sports.
So let's take it beyond that, right? Because we're going selective outrage at individual golfers who are choosing to play for a lot of money because of where that money is coming. I'll be honest with you. I am way more off-put by the fact that Saudi Arabia has not done a great job even hiding the fact that they have supported terrorist operations that have directly hit the United States. I'm way more off-put by that than the Saudi human rights record. You know, right, wrong, or indifferent, and neither are good. But we're just talking about sports. Okay, so now find me a business that is without corruption.
Big ones anyway, big conglomerates. Good luck.
Hold on, and is it the medical field, the medical community? Is it without corruption? Is it the pharmaceutical industry? Is it the accounting industry? Is it the legal industry?
Oh, God.
Is it engineering? Is it education? No. The answer to okay, now let's take it a step farther. Find me a religious organization that is without corruption and scandal.
Ooh, we going down deep today.
Okay, is it the Catholic Church? No.
Unfortunately, no.
Is it the Baptist Church? No. Is it the Methodist or the Presbyterians? Or the Christian Church, the Church of Christ, or non-denominational church? Are any of those without scandal and without corruption? No. Okay, there's got to be one area.
Thank God.
Politics. That's it. Politics. Is lobbying without corruption? Are elections without corruption?
So
is the judiciary without corruption?
And so back to the original thing that started all this. Why is
the office of President of the United States without corruption?
So then why is it Phil Mickelson that got asked more difficult questions than anybody else in sports and anywhere else lately?
Phil Mickelson gets asked more difficult questions, has gotten asked more difficult questions in the last 3 months than the President of the United States has been asked in the last 3 months. Why? Because he's an easy target. He's a rich guy that plays a country club sport for a living, and he's an easy target. That's it. It's easy. It is easy to generate outrage if you are a sports writer. Yeah. Brad in Burnsville says, I think people aren't booing Phil Mickelson because if they were offered $200 million, they would do the same thing. Somebody says, is talk radio without corruption? Let me give you the short answer. No. Sports talk radio, I got a message. What about the FBI? No, the FBI is not without corruption.
You can corrupt me very easily. Write me a check and I'll say what you want me to say.
I'll say whatever you want to say on this radio.
And this is not because of who signs our paychecks. TeleSouth Communications, SuperTalk Mississippi, it's an above-board operation. It just is. Sports talk radio, like writ large, is one of the scuzziest businesses out there. It is a